friends, my name is Janet and welcome to 365 Inspired Yoga Classes. Today is day 59 and we're going to get back to the basics, yoga basics. So let's begin seated on our mat, and what you want to do for yourself is create a strong foundation. So as you sit down on your mat, you want to relax and feel comfortable. That might mean taking a block or a blanket and setting it beneath your seat. So I'm going to grab a block here and put it underneath my seat. And in this foundation, you want to feel the knees falling away from the hips. So if you're seated like this posture would require maybe some props to help you relax into it just a little bit more. So as we get to the basics in yoga, let me start with what yoga means. Yoga means yoke, to yoke or join together. And we're joining together our body, mind, and our breath. So as you pause seated on your mat, notice where your hands rest. Do they automatically relax on your knees, face down or face up? Maybe they come into your lap like a little cup. Take your shoulders, roll them down and back, and sit up really tall. Feel anchored to the earth and extended toward the heavens. Closing your eyes, you begin to notice your breath. And as you breathe, slow down the breath and breathe deeply in and out of your nose. I said that yoga is the union or yoking together body, mind, and breath, but some say body, mind, and spirit. And the word spirit comes from the same Latin word as inhalation, inspiritu, to dwell in spirit. So as we pause here experiencing the breath, one of the major foundations of our practice, notice how your breath is flowing. Let's bring our hands to prayer position in front of the heart and maybe bow your chin to your chest and set an intention to get back to basics. And maybe your life off the mat has gotten kind of crazy, and it would be nice just to pause and get back to the basics of life. Breathe in that intention. And as you breathe out, let's open the eyes and release the palms down. The word for breath is prana, and pranayama is breath control. And that means breathing slow in and out of your nose. That's one breath control. There's lots of other ones, but let's stick with that for this basic class. Breathing in and out of your nose. Oftentimes a yoga practice will start in child's pose. So let's roll over into our hands and knees and find our way to child's pose. Just gonna set my block aside. There are two ways to do child's pose. One is to have your knees together, feet together, rest your belly on your thighs, rounding over and rounding your forehead down. So this basic yoga posture helps to stretch out the spine and really helps you curl inward. Some of you might want a different version, what I like to call extended child's pose. From the hands and knees, you open your knees wide to the outer edges of the mat. Your big toes stay together, touching as your hips press back toward your heels and your arms stretch out. Soften your forearms, your forehead to the mat, and settle into this basic resting pose or beginning pose in a yoga practice. Just connect to your breath, noticing how your breath feels as you pause for a moment in child's pose. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. With your next breath in, rise up to tabletop. And this again is a foundational yoga posture, a starting point. And how you align your body is super important here. So you want to send your wrists aligning all the way beneath the shoulders so the elbows right in line there. Arms are strong and straight. Eyes of the elbows can turn in toward each other. That's this little bendy part so that you're rotating the arms in a little bit. And then looking back, align your knees beneath your hips and your feet separate just about knee or hip width this distance apart. And this is a neutral tabletop position. From neutral, let's move through a spinal warm-up with cow and cat. As you inhale, you drop your belly, tilt your tail up and lift your gaze up. Can you feel the stretch in your tummy as the back tightens and compresses? And then let's take this into cat by rounding the spine, drawing the chin to your chest and pressing your back up. Feel the strength in your abdomen as you find cat pose. We'll move with the breath, which is called vinyasa, or breath synchronized movement. As you inhale, find cow, drop the belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round it out, chin to chest, cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Good. Keep it flowing. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more rounds. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Once more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come into a neutral tabletop position. This posture is also often used for strengthening the abdomen and the back muscles. We'll try this out together. Take it one step at a time. Take your right foot to the back of the mat and lift your right leg into the air. The leg is strong and straight. The foot is flexed. Lean into the right palm and send your left hand forward. If this is too much, lower the left hand to the mat. Breathe in, and as you exhale, draw your left elbow to meet your right knee, cat the spine. Inhale, stretch it out to a flat spine. Exhale, elbow and knee connect. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, extend. This is called bird dog. Exhale, crazy cat, bring it in. Last one, inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Breathe in, extend out long, and as you exhale, come back to tabletop position. Good. We balance the body right and left sides by doing the same thing on the second side. So the left foot will come to the back of the mat, and you lift your left heel into the air, flexing the left foot. Lean into the left palm and try lifting the right hand up. Now, if you kept the right palm down on the first side, do so here as well. Balance both sides of your body. Right arm extended, maybe left heel back. Breathe in. Exhale, bring it in. Crazy cat, elbow and knee connect. Inhale, bird dog, stretch. Exhale, crazy cat. Good. 2 more times. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, crunch. Last one. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, crunch tight. Breathe in, stretch long, and as you exhale, come back to tabletop position. From here, let's come to another foundational yoga posture, basic plank pose. So curl your toes under and come to high plank at the top of push-up. Pull your shoulders down from your ears, gaze slightly forward, and stay strong in your core. Another way to hold plank, if it's better for your body, is to come to the knees. Be mindful that your butt isn't sticking out like you did in cow, but shifting forward, tuck the pelvis under, and that's another version of plank. So you decide what works best for you. From plank pose, breathe in, curl the toes under, and exhale to downward facing dog. Let's take some time here in down dog. Bending knees one at a time, press your heels down. So this down dog stretch, such a basic yoga posture. You see it in most yoga practices, not all, but most. In this pose, your body looks like an upside down letter V. This posture builds upper body strength, so you're feeling that, and lower body flexibility as your heels melt down. If you're struggling to build upper body strength, walk your feet forward a little bit. If you're really tight in the hamstrings, backs of the legs, bend your knees. So kind of play around and learn your body and know what feels best for you. Yoga should not hurt, so if you're experiencing any discomfort or pain here, make your way back to tabletop. That will modify your down dog, just giving yourself a break. Let's take a couple more breaths in your variation of downward facing dog. As you look back at your feet, the feet are hip distance apart. As you look forward at your hands, your palms are shoulder width apart. And you push through the thumb and first finger. Your head hangs heavy, ears aligning with your bicep muscles. Breathe in and now lift the gaze, look forward, and as you exhale, begin to walk to ragdoll forward fold. And as you come to forward fold, let's start with the feet separated a little bit, just hanging out. Bend your knees, hold opposite elbows if you like, and sway gently side to side. Nice release for the back, and an intense stretch for the back of the legs. Release your hands back to your yoga mat, bring your feet together to touch. Bending the knees, gently round all the way upright to standing, one vertebra at a time. Take your shoulders, roll them up towards your ears, and then send them down and back. So mountain pose, in some practices, the feet are planted together or separated, you decide. The hands can be down and this shape of the mountain, or for an extended version of mountain, the arms reach overhead. If you decide to reach your arms overhead, check that your shoulders do not come toward the ears, but relax them down, turn the palms slightly in. Another thing to be mindful or watchful of in this posture is that your tail isn't sticking out and your chest sticking out. So tucking the tail under slightly, lifting up, create space between your hips and your ribs, really lengthening. Soften the shoulder blades, soften the shoulders down, breathe in. And as you breathe out, bow forward. Hands can move through heart center, or some people like to take the arms out wide. That's called a swan dive. So you decide which kind of forward fold works for you. Breathe in and lift up halfway, squeezing your shoulder blades together. So what we're creating with these movements is sun salutation A, something that you see in any vinyasa yoga class or variations on the sequence. And flat back, your shoulders drop down and back, create a flat spine. Maybe bend the knees if you're tight, or with straighter legs, shift forward toward the balls of your feet. Breathe in. As you exhale, plant your palms and step back to high plank at the top or push-up. Here you have 3 options. We're going to get to down dog. One way to get there is simply pushing up and back. The second option is to come to the knees. Again, we talked about this earlier. Tuck your tail under, belly pulls in tight, and you can lower all the way or halfway to the mat. The full expression of a yoga push-up is on the tippy toes. You shift forward, the elbows dial in right underneath the ribs, squeezing the ribs as you shift forward. Roll over the feet and lift to upward facing dog. It's important that your knees and thighs are lifted off the mat. Shoulders roll down and back and gaze forward. Breathe in, breathe out, and come up and back to downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here, just stretching it out, noticing how your body is warming up. The purpose of sun salutation is to greet the day, to start the day, also to warm up the body, to celebrate the sun. With your next breath in, look forward. Exhale, walk to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain. Let's flow through these postures. It's called vinyasa, breath synchronized movement. So just like we did with cow and cat, we move the body with the breath. That's another foundational yoga practice. So yoga basics, sun salutations. Here we go. Let's flow. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and step to high plank. On or off the knees, breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift you to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in, look forward. And as you exhale, step to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to mountain. Let's do it again. Here we go. Let's swan dive as you exhale this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step to plank. Either way in down dog or move through high or low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Breathe in. Feels good, doesn't it? Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. I'm going to change it up a little bit here. Inhale, lift your right leg high, and as you exhale, step your right foot between your thumbs. Coming up to warrior 1, breaking down the warrior postures. Your back left heel presses to the mat with the foot slightly turned out. The left toes look like they're pointing to the upper left corner of your mat. Lunging into the front right knee, draw yourself up and bring your hands to your hips. So we want to pull the right hip back, the left hip forward. That's how we make warrior 1. The right knee bends, hopefully aligning directly over the right ankle, but never beyond. That's too much strain on the knee. So find that perfect alignment. If you struggle for balance, toe heel your right foot to the right a little bit, and that might help you find more balance. It'll also help you square your hips a little bit. Once you feel that your hips are as square as you can make them and you're pressing the back heel to the mat, it wants to lift, push it down, and then reach your arms over your head. Relax your shoulders, gaze forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths. Hold warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to open up to warrior 2. So you spin the hips open, spin the shoulders open, and maybe even open up that back foot slightly. The front right knee stays lunging, bending over the front ankle. Both arms stretch out at shoulder height, and the gaze is over the front right fingertips. Warrior 1 just became warrior 2. So as you lunge into that front right knee, we're just setting a really strong leg here. Gaze out, breathe in, breathe out. Check the back arm. Is it the same height as the front? It looks a little high. Let's lower it down. Back to the front. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take reverse warrior. Take your left hand down, reach your right hand high, check the front knee, keep lunging into the front knee as you gaze up. Pull your left shoulder back, reach up from your right hip, stretch all the way through, and out your fingertips, gazing upward. Breathe in, breathe out. Ooh, it's a strong pose. Isn't it strong on the legs? 2 more. Inhale, exhale. One more time, deep breath in, slow breath out. On your next inhale, let's come back to warrior 2, and we're gonna spin forward toward warrior 1. This is a more challenging version of warrior. We're coming into warrior 3. So we're gonna square the hips. There we go, our arms are lifted. And stay into the front knee as you start to pick up the back heel. You're gonna push off the back foot and lunge forward, balancing on the front, right leg. So this is warrior 3. There we go. Try to square your hips, square your shoulders. Option arms out like the letter T or even back a little bit. Some people bring the hands in front of the heart. You decide what works best for you. Reaching forward and then rise up to standing mountain. Wow, that was challenging. Warrior 3 is a very challenging balance pose. Nice work. Let's repeat all of that on the second side. And that's also a yoga basic foundation. And what I mean by that is balancing the right and left sides of your body. So as you stand tall at the top of your mat, here we go. Breathe into mountain with arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank or down dog. If you're flowing on or off the knees, shift forward, lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's take our left leg lifted into the air, and as you exhale, step the left foot between your palms. You might need to use your left hand to pull the left foot forward. Press your right heel down to the mat. Check that the right toes are pointing to the upper right corner of your mat. As you begin to rise up, bring your hands to your hips, pull your left hip back, right hip forward. If you took the left foot, or if you took the right foot out to the side on side 1, then take the left foot out just a tiny bit to get better balance here. Check the right heel, it's pushing down. My hips are as square as I feel my anatomy will allow, and then we'll reach the arms up high. 3 breaths here, left knee over left ankle. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Once more, inhale, exhale, good. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, open it up to warrior 2. So we're gonna check things out. I like to turn the back foot out slightly. I'm trying to square my hips a little more open. Shoulders square with the side wall, opening them up. My gaze is over my front left fingertips, and my left knee hopefully aligns close to over my left ankle. Let's check the back arm, same height as the front, looks good. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. One more breath, inhale, exhale. On your inhale, reverse warrior, back hand down, left hand high. Lift your gaze to the left hand, check the left knee. If you've lost the bend, bring it back, lunge deep, look up, 3 breaths, inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Once more, inhale, exhale. On your inhale, come back to warrior 2. And then as you exhale, start to turn to warrior 1. Make some adjustments. You can square your hips. Arms are reaching overhead. We're going to get to the challenge. Here it comes, warrior 3. Begin to pick up the back heel, pushing off the back right foot so we can balance on the left, and then start to shift forward. And as you go lower, the right leg goes higher. You can take the arms out to the side, take them back, place them at heart center in prayer. This is a very challenging pose. Find a single point to focus on, hold strong, and then rise up. Both feet meet on the mat, and then bring your hands to heart center. Ooh, nicely done. Okay, we're gonna take another yoga challenge. I would say this next posture is the most recognizable basic yoga pose that we see in advertising or almost anywhere, and it's tree pose. So as you come to standing, bring your hands to prayer position in front of your heart. Begin to shift onto your left foot. Turn your right foot out, and then begin to slide the right foot up. If today is a day, the challenge is a challenge, leave your right toes touching the floor. If you want the added challenge to lift the foot to the calf, do that. The right knee is opening to the side. If you can go for it, you reach down with the right hand, pull the right foot to the inner thigh, and there's tree posture. And you often see it just like this with hands at heart center. if that feels right. Or if you want to grow branches, reach up. Good. And then bring your hands back to your heart and lower your right foot down. Let's try that on the other side. So we shift the weight to the right foot. Start to turn the left foot out. There you go. Kickstand, maybe up to the calf. It's okay to hold on to a wall if you need to. If you feel it and you tried it on the first side, take the left foot to the inner right thigh. Whoa. You might notice, like I do, that my right foot is always harder for me to balance on for whatever reason. That's just part of my anatomy, and I notice that. This is a chance to learn about yourself. Maybe you grow branches. There you go. Smile. And then bring your hands back to your heart. Ooh. And lower your left foot down. Nicely done. Let's come on down to seated on the mat. We did a little core work at the beginning of class, but there's another core posture that we do a lot of in yoga, and that's boat pose. You're seated on your mats. Bring your finger behind your knees, roll your shoulders down and back, and lengthen through the spine, sit up tall. This is the posture. You're already doing it. If you want a challenge, lean back and lift your feet up. If you're feeling it and you want a bigger challenge, extend your arms. The full boat is straightening the legs. Find your version. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Good. Cross your ankles. Let's roll over to tabletop and balance out that core work by strengthening the muscles of the back. So come to your version of plank. Maybe it's on the knees, maybe it's on the tippy toes. I'll do it to the knees. Shift forward, keep the elbows touching the body. That's really important for the shoulder joint, and lower all the way down to your tummy. Your chin is on the mat, your palms are placed right beneath by your chest or beneath your shoulders. Elbows tuck in, feet are on the mat. For Cobra, breathe in, lift your head up, lift your heart up, lift your hands up off the mat. Your gaze is directly forward, roll your shoulders down and back. Keep breathing. One more big breath in, lift high. Can you feel your back muscles really working? As you exhale, release down, resting your right cheek on the mat, and your gaze is over to the left. Just take a couple breaths here. Woo. Okay, let's take it up a notch, bringing us into locust pose. Bring your chin to the mat, your palms back by your shoulders or your chest. As you inhale, start to lift your chest up, just like you did in Cobra, maybe hands up, and then see if it feels okay to lift your legs up. And then maybe the arms can go out like the letter T. Some people bring them behind their back. Just gonna feel it out, really strengthening the muscles in the back. Woo. One more big breath in, lift. Exhale, lower opposite cheek to the mat, and the arms rest right there by your side. Good. From here, let's come to our hands and knees in tabletop. Curl your toes under, push up and back to downward facing dog. Nice easy stretch. This will be our last down dog. Can you feel any difference? Look at your foundation, look at your posture, where your feet and hands are on the mat and the distance between them and how your arms feel. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, look forward and step all the way through to seated on your mat. Once you're seated, pull the fleshy part of your tush back just a little bit. There you go, sit up nice and tall, reach your arms high, big breath in. Breathe out to fold over your legs. Just relaxing here, folding deep. We're winding down, so feel the energy shift into a little more of a relaxation practice. Rise up. Bend your knees and place your feet on the mat and use the core strength you used in boat pose to lower all the way down. Once you're down, draw your knees into your chest and give your low back a lovely stretch. Let's move into supine pigeon. Your feet are on the mat, close to your seat. Take your right leg and lift it up high. And then bend your right knee and place your right ankle on your left thigh. Lift your gaze up, take the right hand between the legs, meet the left hand at the back of your left thigh. Lie back down, keep your right foot flexed, and maybe use your right elbow to push the right thigh away from the body. As you relax and open up your hips in this lovely, easy pigeon stretch, supine pigeon. Okay, let that go. Let's do the other side. Take whatever time you need to kind of stretch and get back to both feet on the mat, knees in the air. Left leg then extends to the ceiling. Bend the left knee, place your left ankle on the right thigh. You can stay right there if that feels good, if that's what you did on the first side, Or lift your head up and thread the needle left hand between the legs, lifting the right knee, right hand comes to the back of the right thigh, and then lie back down. Use your left elbow to push the left knee away from you. Your left foot is flexed, and just lying here, stretching out the lower back and releasing through the hips. Nice to do these stretches here at the end of class, and you'll notice maybe almost like a bell curve journey through the practice. We start out slow, we build intensity, we wind back down, and let's let this go. So bringing both feet to the mat. Good. Take it into an easy twist. Bring your knees into the air. If your back is tender, leave your feet on the mat. Arms sweep out like the letter T. Breathe in, and as you exhale, let both knees drop left. Take your left hand to the right thigh, and turn your gaze over to the right. Where do you feel the stretch? Right through the low back. Hopefully it feels good. A couple more breaths here. Slowly begin to unravel your twist, bringing both knees in. This little squeeze neutralizes the twist from your spine. Arms come out like the letter T. Breathe in, and as you exhale, both knees drop over to the right. Maybe the right hand to the left thigh, gaze left. Good. Both knees back up to center, unraveling the twist. Give yourself a squeeze and decide if you'd like to lie back and relax into Shavasana, soaking up all the goodness of your practice. I'm going to come to seated and share an inspirational quote, which comes from one of my favorite inspirational speakers, Zig Ziglar. And he said, "The foundation stones for a balanced success are honesty, character, integrity, faith, love, and loyalty." I hope you feel a sense of appreciation for the basics in your yoga practice, and some of these postures as we broke them down will help you in your more vigorous yoga practice. Thank you so much for subscribing to our free yoga club, for sharing the practice with your friends and family. From my heart to yours, namaste.